Hi there, welcome to Practical Piano. In this series, I just record every time that I practice because I want you to see what practice can look like over time for another person, because I believe in the apprenticing model and I find it really helpful to see what my mentors are doing. And so my hope is that seeing what somebody else is doing in piano will inspire your own practice. Now, I have been away from the piano for maybe a week, quite a long time, longer than I like. And so just overwhelmed with various things, and life can get like that. What I would refrain from doing if you have that happen is don't shame yourself for it. You have life priorities, and piano has to fall in a list of things that are important. You have to take care of more important things first. That's just how life is. So, I would caution you not to tell yourself that you should have practiced when you made the choice not to because you're prioritizing other important things. It doesn't mean that piano is not important, you just had other things on the go. So today I have about 15 minutes. And even though that's all I have, I want to devote it to piano because I miss it and I want to play. So, I'm gonna go over some techniques. I can feel as I'm going to play, my hands are not ready to go. So if I go over some warm-ups, some techniques, some exercises, that will benefit my hands and it will benefit my playing. There are many different techniques warm-ups that you can do. You can play a bunch of easy songs that you've already learned, and that will help you with your sight reading, and it will also help you just warm up your hands because your hands will be playing something. You can play Hanon, which a lot of people tend to go to. I find Hanon repetitive, and so I don't do it very much. I do have a list of techniques for the exam that I'm working on and that I'm preparing for. And so I can play the list of techniques for this exam. And if you want a set of exercises, I would recommend getting something like the Brown Scale book, which I don't like how that's laid out. I like when they have all the scales together, all the triads together, all your diminished together. So because that's my preference, I would get an RCM technique book so that I could play through all the RCM technique. Or you can just learn a handful of scales and go over those all the time. So there's many different ways to warm up. Now I'm going to play through diminished sevenths. We're going to start on D sharp. Okay, we're going to start on F. My left hand was lagging there. I'm going to play the left hand by itself. Now if I relax my hand too much, then I can't hit the notes correctly. So I'm tensing up a little to hit them correctly. Ideally, you want to reduce the tension in your hands. part of the tension will leave as my hands, as the blood comes to them and as my muscles are flexed and they feel ready to go. Part of the tension will leave naturally when your hands are warmed up and ready to go. So that's one thing. There's also purpose for tension, and there's purpose for relaxation. I did staccato there because earlier when I played it smoothly, I wasn't following good timing. And so that tells me I need to watch the timing. One good way to measure your timing is to go staccato on each note. Dun, 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 dun. Here's another good way. I can just count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. I switched to a dominant there instead of diminished. Okay, that's feeling a little better. We'll go together again. Now, because my left hand was lagging before, as I go together, I'm following my left hand speed instead of my right hand speed, because if that's the weaker hand, I want to go at the weaker speed to accommodate it until it's up to normal speed. That time I hit an F sharp up here. Was it up here? Yeah. Instead of a normal F. All right, that's feeling better already. Stretch out forward. There we go. We're going to go over changes. It's a wonderful song with a ton of notes, good for warming up. Where is it? It sounds lovely, and has so many familiar patterns that it's easy to play, which is ideal if you're warming up. You want something easier to play so that you can just focus on your hands instead of reading the notes. Reading notes slows you down, so if you already know the notes, then it's going to be more useful for warm-up. I also like this song. It gets my wrists rotating. And so that's a bigger movement, and it uses bigger muscles. That's going to warm up my hands even better. max a little more in there because that was getting quite tight and difficult to play. I love this song. I love that it's beautiful. And this is something I recommend to students who are preparing for exams because you have to play the songs for so long to get them. That is the timer. I got a timer so that the video doesn't stop anymore, and I'm very happy about that. Because I'm sure it's a better experience for you to not have to watch the random cut. Anyways, I recommend for students to pick songs that they enjoy the most for their exams, if possible. Sometimes the song selection is unpleasant, but if there are songs that you really enjoy for the lists that you need to use for the examination, pick the songs that you love the most, because in order to get them really, really polished and good, especially if you're going for a higher grading, in order to get them that polished, you have to stay on them for a long time. And if you hate the song, you're not going to want to practice it for a year or a year and a half. You just are not. You won't like it enough to do that. But if you pick a bunch of songs that you love, you'll be happy practicing them for a year and a half. I've probably already been at this for a year, and I love all my songs. I'm still not bored of them. There's one that I avoid practicing, but it's the best out of the selection that I was given. So I don't love that one. And that just proves what I'm saying. I don't love it, therefore I'm not practicing it. I have to go and practice it anyways. Yeah, it's much easier to learn and prepare for your exam if you love most of the songs you're doing. Thank you for joining me for this brief practice session. I hope that you get a good warm-up when you go to practice. It makes playing way easier. And I will see you in the next video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you know anyone who would also enjoy it, share it with them. If you want more of this content, subscribe. And if you have any feedback or questions, leave them in the comments.